Why are some things just creepy? Not terrifying, not outright dangerous, just eerie, like a porcelain doll staring blankly from across the room, or an empty swing moving ever so slightly with no wind, a stranger standing too still for too long. It doesn't make you scream, but it makes your skin crawl. It's not fear, not quite, it's something murkier, a sense that something is off, but you can't explain why. Creepiness, at its core, is about uncertainty. Our brains are designed to scan for patterns and make quick decisions, safe or dangerous, friend or foe. But when something doesn't clearly fit into a category, it lingers in that uncomfortable middle ground. It's not overtly harmful, but it's also not harmless. It's ambiguous. And ambiguity, especially in social or physical environments, is one of the main triggers of the creepy feeling. Your brain doesn't panic, but it doesn't relax either. It stays alert, just in case. Consider clowns. They're meant to be joyful, silly figures, but many people find them deeply unsettling. Why? Their exaggerated features and makeup hide their real expressions. Their painted-on smiles don't change, even if their mood does. We depend on subtle facial cues to understand people. Micro-expressions, eye movement, lip tension. With clowns, those cues are blocked or distorted. You can't read them, and that unreadability makes them unnerving. You don't know if they're joking or watching. This effect intensifies when we enter the uncanny valley, the space where something looks almost human, but not quite. Think of hyper-realistic mannequins, lifelike robots, or animated characters with glassy eyes. At first glance, they seem real, but the more you look, the more your brain screams that something is wrong. Their movements are just slightly off. Their skin is too smooth. Their gaze is too fixed. Our brains evolved to detect real humans, and anything that almost passes as one but doesn't gets flagged as a potential threat. It's not that it's dangerous, it's that we can't tell. Creepiness also shows up in contextual mismatches, when something appears in a setting where it doesn't belong. A tricycle in the middle of a forest, a child's laugh echoing through an abandoned building. These aren't threatening on their own, but in the wrong context, they become dissonant. Our expectations are violated, and that triggers discomfort. Your brain's logic engine short circuits. Why is that here? The tension between the normal and the abnormal creates unease. Another source of creepiness is pattern disruption. Our brains thrive on order and predictability. We love symmetry, rhythm, repetition. But when a pattern is broken, slightly and without explanation, it catches us off guard. A room with every chair aligned, except one. A ticking clock that skips a beat. A hallway that's a little too long. These tiny deviations don't feel random. They feel deliberate, as if someone or something is doing it on purpose. Even silence can be creepy. We're used to background noise, cars, birds, distant conversations, but true silence, especially in places where there should be noise, puts our senses on edge. Think about how horror movies use silence. It's not the scream that scares us, it's the absence of sound right before it. Our brains associate silence with danger. In nature, sudden quiet might mean a predator is near. That ancient instinct still whispers to us in quiet hallways and still forests. Let's not forget body language. A person standing just a little too close. Someone who smiles without their eyes. An individual who speaks in a flat, emotionless tone. These behaviors trigger our internal alarm systems. They don't break social norms. They bend them just enough to feel strange. Our brains have finely tuned social detectors. When someone doesn't act the way we expect, we assume they might be hiding something. An intention, a threat, a malfunction. From an evolutionary standpoint, creepiness makes perfect sense. Our ancestors had to be constantly alert to hidden dangers. A rustle in the bushes could mean a snake or predator. So we developed sensitivity to things that might be threats, even if we couldn't confirm them. Better to feel unease and be wrong than to feel safe and be eaten. That's what creepiness is, the mind's maybe alarm. Not loud enough to make you run, just loud enough to make you watch. Even familiar objects can become creepy when they behave unexpectedly. A door that creaks open slowly, a toy that turns on by itself. These are harmless, but when they act outside of their expected pattern, our brains don't know how to respond. In stories and films, this is what gives haunted houses their charm. Everyday objects doing the wrong thing. It's the gap between what should happen and what is happening that makes it so unsettling. Interestingly, creepiness isn't always a solo emotion. We often feel it more when we're alone. In a crowd, our brain relaxes.